And right here is part 4. If you haven't seen part 3, click the screen. If you haven't seen 2 or 1, description. All right, time for part 4.
I want to check out another comment. That was, I didn't even read a comment in that last one. I just was talking about what a whole bunch of people were talking about. So yeah. In my other video, the new Spider-Man game will be a PS4 exclusive. People in particular, I'll read the comment as well. Because it was a very interesting comment. So there was this conversation that started in the comment section in which people, in particular JMP Hines 57, and there was another commenter. The other commenter's name was the Superior Artist 10,000, and they said that Activision lost the rights to the Spider-Man character, to the Spider-Man video game license thingy in 2014. So, with that being said, research was done on my part because they said they researched it, and I found a number of articles stating, yeah, they were lost. We lost them. Yep, they lost them. Yep, they lost it. And I'm like, well, where are these articles coming from? And it all stemmed from the fact that the digital versions of Activision's games that pertain to Marvel were being taken off of online stores. Okay. Then I did some digging, and I found Activision's investor call, in which the conversation, this was back in 2005, I believe. And the investor call, basically the announcement in the press, there was a press release announced as well, that basically stated that Activision had the rights to the Spider-Man license until 2017. So I basically said no, because look at this. And then the conversation between JMP Hines and I began. So he sent me an article talking about the partnership ending, and I said, well, that article was written by somebody based upon this, whatever. Activision had an investor meeting in which this was stated. And if this is something that is worth a lot of money, all right? The Spider-Man franchise, the Spider-Man entity, the property of Spider-Man is worth a lot of money. So if they were to lose these rights, regardless of Disney and Marvel making a deal, if they were to lose these rights, this would be something stated in an investor's call. It would. This was not stated in an investor's call. That's a large amount of profits that they would lose. And I don't know the legal ramifications of that happening as well. But that would... That it don't just go like that, man. It's not how it go. People put money into these companies. A lot of money into these companies. They want to know. So I think if Spider-Man was lost, it would be known. And then the conversation of the rights situation being lost because of these games disappearing from online stores was interesting. Because if the rights were lost, then Activision wouldn't be able to publish Deadpool for the new consoles in 2015 if the rights were lost in 2014. So that's a contradiction. And then the argument that JMP Hines said was that, what did he say? He said something in regards to that they published it due to a petition. Again, the legal ramifications of them publishing something that they don't have the rights to are pretty high. That's money thrown out the window. They can't do that. I know I'm referring to Spider-Man, but this conversation stemmed from the fact that Activision had the rights to the Marvel products, the Marvel licenses as well, and Spider-Man is Marvel, and they had it specifically with Spider-Man as well. But the conversation of these rights diminishing was because of their games disappearing from their online from online retailers, and there could potentially be an issue in regards to the online retailers and Activision and maybe the rights and all that. And it was interesting because last year in 2015, Marvel said they're going to begin licensing out their games. So there could be something happening. There could very well be something happening. But I'm saying that in regards to the Spider-Man license and in regards to the Marvel license not being with Activision, there is absolutely no proof. We have these articles that are being written based on assumption, and the assumption is that they lost their license in 2014, when in 2015 they republished a Marvel licensed game. That's a contradiction. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say, because that is it. Now, I do think that the Spider-Man game could be being made, and I do think that it could be co-published by Sony and Activision. If it is co-published by Sony and Activision, as Game Informer thinks, then the game would be exclusive to the PS4. But if it's not co-licensed by Sony and Activision, then it would not be exclusive. Game Informer's article will be in the description as well, in which they talk about the rights. They say that the rights are currently with Activision as well. So that's how it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. So yeah. That's really it. That's really it. As I said, my format is changing. As you can see, aesthetically, it does look different. Things will be changing behind me as well, in terms of where I will be filming and what it will look like. It will not eventually not look like this. Somebody said that I used to have like posters and stuff up, and it was on that wall because I filmed from there. I used to have posters up, and I should do something like that again. And I'm going to say right now, that's not going to happen. Sorry. So, yeah. My background is not necessarily that important in terms of my videos, in terms of my content. It needs to be visually appealing and audioly appealing. I made that up. And I get that the posters did add to the visual aspect of it, but the posters did not serve a purpose. They were just there, and I just filmed in front of them. And yeah, he says something about my background is now normally just dark, and yep, it's going to be dark or really light, one of the two. Stay tuned, because it'll be changing. My videos are going to be changing a little bit, the format, like I said. But yeah, what do you think about what the Spider-Man in the game for the PS4? I think it's possible. And I could have cut all this up into separate videos, but why would I do that? 20 minutes, y'all can watch it, right? No, you can't watch it. I gotta cut it up. Do I have to cut it up? Do I have to cut it up? Do y'all like long videos? I feel like I like long videos, but if y'all don't like long videos, then there's a problem. I don't know. We gonna see. All right. I want all y'all to have a good one. I'm having a conversation. That conversation below down there. I'm gonna be down there. I hope you down there. Let's have a conversation down there. As always, thank you all for watching. I've been Vince. Hit like the button if you hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Share this video around with all of your friends, and have a good one. Peace. Have a good one. Peace. Is it like that? There we go. Peace. Peace. Somebody said, why do I do it this way? It's because when I do it this way, it can sometimes be considered offensive in other countries. So I do it this way, because that means peace. Universal. Peace. Now, I'm putting this at the end of the video because I know somebody's going to comment saying this, and I can just send them the time saying, ha, that's why you got to watch the whole video. Ha, ha, ha. I'm talking about that with that investors call, it only mentioned the movie rights. Now, I am aware that it only mentioned the movie rights. I can read. But the reason why I did use this as evidence is because Game Informer did the same in their articles. These articles will be in the description below. And Game Informer is a reputable source with close relationships to people in the industry, publishers and developers alike. They are actually running the new Call of Duty game as their cover story for their next month's issue of their magazine, which is great. So I think if anybody did and does know whether or not Activision had the rights to the Spider-Man character, it would be Game Informer. We can also look at the fact that there had been a variety of other sources that I deem as reputable because I actually watched them and listened to them. IGN and Kotaku, Game Informer being included, that did not run the story that Activision had lost the rights.
they in fact ran the story that was the story to begin with, that these games that Activision had the rights to were just pulled from these online stores, and that was it. So I think that that can lead a little bit of weight as well. But personally, it did only say movie rights. And with that being said, if a game was made that had nothing to do with the Spider-Man movie, Activision should not have their hand in that cookie jar. We can look at some of the games that have come out in the past few years that contain Spider-Man in them and may not have had Activision around. Disney Infinity, the Marvel Lego game, and some of the mobile games that have come out with Spider-Man in them. But these games did have Spider-Man in them and did not solely base themselves around Spider-Man, which could be a loophole or could be a reason as to why Activision did not publish them if they did. I'm not saying that they did or didn't because I didn't look it up. The reason for me not looking it up is because I want us to look it up together and be in the comment section talking about it. You see what I did there? I'm trying to encourage conversation by us actively doing something together and figuring something out. That way, my next video, I can refer to people's comments and refer to the conversations and base the knowledge that we gained from E3, and it just becomes this beautiful video. You know, you guys get what I'm saying? All right, I hope you do. All right, have a good one. Peace.
Venom 2 million.